Hey guys, and welcome back to A&J Education. In today's video, I'm going to do a walkthrough of a complete UCAS application form for UK undergraduate admissions. So if you're interested in applying to the UK for your undergraduate degree, keep watching. Let's go. Okay, right. So to apply via UCAS, you go onto UCAS.com. And you're here on the homepage, and this is regardless whether you're an international student, a UK student, a EU student. You go to UCAS.com. You go in the top right corner, sign in students, because you are a student. And then here you have several options. You have clearing, but I'm going to touch that just yet. And then here you have undergraduate. So you have 2021 apply or track, but if you're applying for 2022 entry, it's a bit early for that just now, but you will have a button for apply there. Anyways, in our case, we are doing apply. So apply is when you're doing a new application. Track is when you've already created an application and you want to track your application. So you click apply. Great. So it will prompt you to either log in or register. You need to register because that's a new application that you're doing. Here is it's giving you some generic information that you can just ignore. Terms and conditions, yes. Okay, right. So this is actually the bit that you have to start filling up. So let's put it up. Okay, let's say you are, for the purpose of this video, let's make you a international student. But again, it doesn't really make a huge difference. So let's say you live somewhere in, let's say in Brazil. So in fact, let's do Mexico. Okay, it's asking for telephone number, email address. Email address is the key one. Now I've created a separate email just for the purpose of this video. So let's use that. Right, and now the email address is very important because it's the email that UCAS will share with all the universities, and that's the email that UCAS will use to communicate with you. So you must put an email address that you check. Enable notifications. If you have a smartphone, make sure that the emails pop up on your smartphone because they are very important. And now there are some sort of useless emails that you wouldn't really need, lots of marketing, lots of other stuff, but there are some very important ones. So it's best for you to check all of them. Okay, it's asking here for the password, so we're gonna come up with a quick password, whatever that may be for you. Okay, then it's got some security questions. Name of your school. Obviously, I'm just giving dummy answers, but use some, proper answers. Okay, so we have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, just like the coronavirus variants. Okay, now it's created this username for you. You need this username, so and you will see in the email that you have something from UCAS where you need to verify this email address. So you need to copy, UCAS basically needs to verify that the email it's provided has been correct. Anyway, we'll come to that in a second. Now, this is a very important section. So here, UCAS is asking how you're applying. If you're applying through your school or college, this means that they are a UCAS registered agent or partner or school, and they have a UCAS account. So if you do this, your school will have to sort out the reference for you, and you will have to provide a buzzword. So if you click on that, you need to add the school buzzword. So if your school does not have the UCAS buzzword, it means it is not registered with UCAS, and therefore you cannot apply via the school. But if you are, and most students in the UK, most international schools have UCAS affiliation, you should be able to do it through them. Now, the upside is everything centralized and your school is aware of the process. The downside, well, maybe a downside, is that the school is writing the reference and you have no control over that. So maybe that's something you should investigate, to see who in your school is writing the reference, and make sure that they're fully invested in you, and that they know what a good student you are. And I've talked about it hundreds of times in the other videos here. So through a careers organization, you don't really use that. Through another organization or as an individual. Now, a lot of A&J students, especially from overseas, applies individual students, and often I would provide the reference if I've worked with a student for a long time, or one of my colleagues. But this individual can be anyone, right? It can be your teacher, it can be your boss, it can be whoever. It just cannot be a family member. So this is someone who can adequately reflect on your academic ability, on your passion for education, etc., etc. It just cannot be your mum and dad. So let's click apply as an individual. Do you live outside the United Kingdom? Yes, let's answer that. Okay, now UCAS has created a unique personalized ID for you. And this number is very, very important, so write it down. You should also receive another email, maybe not just yet. That's because we haven't verified, so let's do that now. So go to your email, you copy this verification code, and then in UCAS, you go into personal details. Click here to verify your email address. Okay, let's type this code, verify email. Boom, done. So your email is now verified. So this email has now been verified, fantastic. Okay, and now we need to fill all of these sections here. So the first one, personal details. This is pretty self-explanatory, so your name, your surname, your address, permanent home, whether it's within or without the UK. And this is very important for UK residents, international students, and UK residents, UK citizens who are non-UK residents. Basically what this determines is your fee status. So if you live overseas, even if you're British, you generally have to pay international fees, which are 2-3 times higher than domestic UK fees. You also do not have access to student loans, which means that you have to basically find the money yourself, either from your parents, most common, or get a loan or whatever. But it cannot be government-backed student loan scheme from the student loan company in the UK. So if you're an international student and you study in the UK and you're applying through UCAS, you're still ineligible. So this option, basically only students who are British citizens and who live in the UK or who have permanent residency here, which a lot of EU citizens have, and other citizens as well. Only UK residents, only UK citizens and permanent UK residents or EU citizens who are on the EU settlement scheme are eligible for the student loans. So anyway, you need to answer this truthfully because you can't really lie your way out of this. Answer this, date of birth, nationality, all of that. Personal reference number, this section does not really apply to you. Passport details, again, you just add your passport information, etc. Now, student support, fee code. So most students who are international students have applied as private finance. Basically, you sort out the money yourself. However, if you're UK citizen eligible for student loans, you will be selecting one of the other options, such as O2, so student finance services, and then there are some other schemes as well. But majority of people, 99% of cases, will fall into either private finance or the student finance. Okay, you can update your preferences here, non-limited access. Now, if you want to give somebody access to your UCAS portal, you can via here. Disability, that's it. If you have any disability, special needs, you answer it here, and you can see it's a compulsory, because there is this red asterisk, it's a compulsory section, so you need to see list. Even if you don't have a disability, you click no disability. So you have to pick it from the list. Once you've done, you click section completed, save, and you will see that I'm trying to do it now. It will not allow me to do this because not every, you see it will say everything that I haven't filled up, like your country, nationality, etc. But basically, once you do all of that, you click save, you have it ticked off, and it appears like this. Now, we currently, because we're in clearing, we're recording this in July, you cannot add choices here, but ordinarily, this is where you can add your choices, up to 5 choices. You cannot apply to both Oxford and Cambridge in the same cycle, unless you're an organ scholar, and there are special exemptions for that. But because there is a shortage of good organists, so if you play the organ, you're in luck. Otherwise, if you're a normal person, you just select 5 universities. Oxford and Cambridge can be one of them, then the other 5 choices. Now, this section is very, very important because you need to find the right university and the right course code at that university. And because each university has hundreds and hundreds of combinations, it's often possible to mess it up. So let me show you what the code looks like. Let's go to Queen Mary website. They have a good website, Queen Mary, good Russell Group University in London. Here we go to course finder, and let's go to undergraduate course finder. And this is the same for most universities, but basically, let's say you want to do accounting and finance, so you click on that. And you see here, you have, and normally again, most universities have variations, right? So they have accounting and finance, or you have something with a foundation year. But basically, if you can see here, if you pay attention, accounting and finance, so Q50, that's Queen Mary's code. Q50 doesn't change, so every single Queen Mary is Q50, right? So that's it. So that's what you add into your UCAS in here, into search when it appears. But the UCAS code differs. So this course is N400, this is N401. And it's what I'm trying to tell you, it's very, very important to pick the right program and make sure that you do not make a mistake with the with the selection of the universities, the courses, the programs that you go for. Okay, once you've done the section, again, hit complete. Education, this is where you add your, so where you studied, basically, let's find a school. So you add, okay, let's go, for example, let's find my school. I was very fortunate to study at Fettes College in Edinburgh. Now, it's a UK-based school, it's already a UCAS center, so you can put the dates. So if you start, normally you start there in September let's say 2017, and you finish normally around June, July, let's say 2020. Attendance in schools normally full-time, but again, that may differ in your case, but most 99% of students will be in full-time attendance. Did you receive any qualifications? So this question is basically, have you done your A-levels, have you done your GCSEs, have you done other qualifications in your school? So if your school is in Mexico, Bulgaria, have you done any exams, official exams in that school? And what UCAS means by official qualifications are qualifications that are not other than internal. So if your teacher is giving you a test at the end of the month, that's not an official qualification. Official qualification is a government approved endorsed exam where you have a piece of paper with that qualification. Anyway, you complete all of this, you save it, and again, it gets ticked off. Employment, if you ever had a job or internship, you add this here. Again, you click add employer, and then you add a bit of detail about what you did and how you did it, and where and when. Don't lie about it, but if you have genuinely done something, it's good. And look, it doesn't have to be something impressive, right? So, working at Goldman Sachs age 17 or inting in at Google, unless you're a genius, or you have some family connections and money, it's pretty difficult, right? But if you had a job at a local cafe, at a pub, a cleaner, whatever it may be, at a supermarket, doesn't matter. If it can show, what it shows is your discipline, initiative, your ability to balance your school life with your work life and manage your time effectively, that's a very strong statement. So no job is too bad, and whatever job it is, you should definitely add it there. Now, personal statement, probably the scariest part for most students about applying via UCAS. You have 47 lines, up to 4,000 characters, and that includes spaces. So if you're writing a word like, I want to study, of course, this is a very bad way to start a personal statement. You will see that here, instead of just 5, 7, 12 characters, there are more because we're using the space, so the space counts, the dot count as well. Make sure that when you're planning your personal statement, and again, we've got a whole series of videos, and I'm actually doing a course as well, several courses on this. that you should check out. Information below, where I take a group of students and help them through this process in a quite intensive environment. But basically, start this way early. We have students who come to us a year before, 2 years before, and we start personal statement then. But even if you can, even if you left it till the last minute, you can still fix it. Just start. Better late than never. Make a start. Do not start editing your personal statement in here, because this section can easily get lost. Edit it in a Google Doc or a Word doc, and keep your versions in chronological order, so you can always go back to your previous version in case you've deleted something of value, if you want to use that. Once you're done with this section, you click complete. Reference. You remember at the beginning we applied as a private candidate. So as a private candidate, you need to explain who your referee is and provide their email. When you do, you need to check with your referee that they've received an email from UCAS, and it didn't go into spam or something like that, that they received an email. They then have been emailed, they would have been emailed an email, login details, so password and username. They log into UCAS with that, and they have their section to add your predicted grades if you are still awaiting of the final results of your qualifications with which you're applying to the universities via UCAS, so A-levels or IB or whatever it may be, and your reference from them. Now, we'll do a separate section on the separate video on the reference, but if you guys haven't signed up to my newsletter, check out sunnyjane.org. Again, link is below, and I share information on CV building activities and tips on how to write an amazing personal statement, or how to work with your teacher to get an amazing reference. In that newsletter, it comes out every 3 weeks. You should check it out. Okay, at the end, you view all details one more time. So you review everything, and if you're happy with everything, you click section complete. Then it will not permit you to necessarily pay and send immediately. So what UCAS will do is it will wait for your referee, and remember, the person who you nominated received an email with login details. So they need to log in. They, on their end, need to submit the reference and predicted grades, if that's applicable. They need to submit it, and only then when UCAS sees that they've done it, can you do it on your end. So even if you've done everything, and you're about to hit submit, so many students make the mistake. They forget that the referee would have had to do their bit before they can submit it. So it's very important to start early, to have good communication with your referee, and to make sure that they're aware of the deadline. And just to remind you, the official UCAS deadlines for Oxford and Cambridge for medicine, it's 15th of October during an academic year. For every other subject, by and large, is 15th of January. However, the earlier you apply, the better. Although some universities, some courses still will accept your application after 15th of January. But if you can do it before the deadline, that's best. And if you can do it in the autumn, in September, October, that's absolutely best. So that's something we would always recommend and something we'll always do with A&J students. That's it. And once you've done all of this, you've successfully submitted your UCAS form. It cost £26 this year. The price will probably go up next year, but it will be around 30 quid. And you should have an official confirmation email sent here on UCAS to your email account. So if you haven't received that, check your spam or contact UCAS to find out where it is, because you should have that. And once you've submitted your form, next time you log in not with your username, but you log in with your UCAS ID, which you can see normally on the welcome page here. Yeah, your personal UCAS ID, that's the thing you normally log in with. So guys, if you're applying for UK undergrad, hope this video was useful for you. Drop me any questions in the comment section below. Check out my newsletter on sunnyjane.org. Again, the link is here, and the courses that we do that are run personally for students who are applying to the UK. And all the best. Take care.